Hi, my name is Bailey Flournoy. This is my college speech over a childhood memory that has shaped me into the person I am today. It is about a wrist surgery I had as a younger child. When I was in 6th grade, I had a four-wheeler accident. Went to the doctor. He told me it was sprained to wear a splint in a sling for 3 weeks, and I would be able to play my favorite sport, which would be softball again. I played for 2 or 3 years later after that, with it throbbing, pain every single game, but I didn't want to sit out, so I never told anybody. I would take medicine that would help the pain a little bit, but it would never go away, and I knew something was wrong. Well, 2 years later, I started personal training as a pitcher because I've been a pitcher throughout high school, and as a younger child, pitched for 7 or 8 years. And well, in personal training, we started lifting weights, doing hand exercises, and it got to where I couldn't even lift a weight with my left hand. It would completely lean to a different direction. Well, I told my parents that something was completely wrong, and they didn't believe me, but it got to where I couldn't pick up anything. It wouldn't bend, it wouldn't move. So I went back to a different doctor to see if I would have different results. Well, I got there. He asked me if I wanted to see the x-rays, and I was like, yes, of course I want to see them. He showed them to me, and I noticed a piece of my bone was chipped off, and it was floating throughout my hand, and a huge crack in the scaphoid fracture in my wrist. He told me the only way I would be able to fix this would be to have surgery. It broke my heart. I was really upset because I didn't want to sit out of softball. Softball is my favorite sport. I've played since I was 6 years old. I play it 24/7 almost. It's my most favorite thing to do. Well, he told me that I needed to go see a hand specialist because he wasn't the best at hand surgery, and that he thought I should either go to Dallas or to Little Rock to have surgery. Well, my parents were really concerned because they wanted me to be ready by season, which of course that wasn't going to happen. But they sent me to Little Rock as soon as possible, which was the next day. We drove up to Little Rock, met my doctor. He told me how long I was going to be out, what kind of surgery it was, what he was going to do, everything. And my stepmom asked, well, how soon could we do the surgery? And he said, in a month. So, and about a month later, I drove back up to Little Rock, got ready for my surgery. Never been so nervous or scared in my entire life. Well, they did the surgery, and I was out of school for a week, laid in bed, couldn't move my arm, sick with fever. It was a nightmare. A week later, after I was out, I went to physical therapy to get the dressing off my wrist, and I didn't know if I had staples or stitches because I never saw. Well, I was scared to look the whole time she was taking them off, but she took it off, and all I could see was staples. There was 12 staples in my hand. That really grossed me out. She took them off, gave me a splint and everything, and told me to wear that for 3 weeks and to not use it at all. So I had a checkup with my doctor about 3 weeks later, and I went back, and he told me I had a screw that was holding my bone together, and he scooped a piece of my bone out of my arm, and put in my hand and screwed it together. Well, after that, he told me after 12 weeks it should be completely healed. I'll be able to hit, I'll be able to play, I'll be perfectly fine. But the bad news was I'd never have more than 60% in my wrist, which I knew 60% was better than 0%, and if I would have waited any longer, it would have broke completely, and I wouldn't be able to play at all. So I'm very thankful for my doctor that has shaped me into the player and softball player that I am today.